It's not every day that we have such an exciting Bitcoin chart. Crypto markets right now are they're intriguing. Everything that's going on, all the narratives that are in play right now, Bitcoin ETFs, everything that's happening on the negative side of things, Kraken, Binance, everything that's happened over the last couple of years, the bear market. What's coming together at this upper yellow trend line and how it translates on the zoomed in 6 hour, even in the short term, the Bitcoin chart has become very exciting. I'm going to discuss why that is in this video. The Ada Cardano daily chart, I would say even more exciting than what's going on with Bitcoin, also translating on the zoomed in 6 hour. I'm going to break that down. So everybody, I hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. Please hit that subscribe, hit the like, and let's just dive into a nice, simple technical analysis today. We're going to start with Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the daily. As many of you know, if you've been watching the channel, there's this upper trend line we've been talking about a lot. This trend line going back to around July 2022. We've tracked this rising wedge that Bitcoin kind of fake broke out of to the downside, pulled right back to this trend line, and look at the consolidation at these trend lines. Once again, hitting this macro upper trend line in yellow. And we've been tracking just this consolidation that's been happening. What we're really waiting to see is if Bitcoin can break above that yellow trend line. And up there in that yellow trend line area, right around 38,000, this is where the short-term story kind of becomes exciting. If you look at the upper trend line of this very zoomed in 6 hour rising channel, you can see $39,000 is the upper trend line. So this upper trend line of this rising channel really is the same kind of resistance area of the upper trend line of this yellow trend line that goes back to July. There's a lot of resistance here. The thing is, Bitcoin's showing these signs, these bull market signs on the RSI, the momentum oscillator. Let me discuss what I mean by that. And I'll preface by saying, you'll know, I don't even think we're in that bull market environment yet. We're not even we haven't even reached the 2024 halving. That true bull market, when we're breaking the bull market doors, and we are really starting to just see higher highs, higher lows, parabolic. I don't even think we're there yet. I think some people might think the bull market is here, we're ready to go. I think there might be some consolidation, and this is just based off of historical data, historical context, the cycles of crypto, the consistencies of these charts. But what I will say is, if we go to the daily chart, and this is where we're starting to see just some hints of bullish momentum, is this momentum oscillator. You can see Bitcoin recently was cruising into overbought, and we've been really tracking kind of this bearish divergence. It's been falling while price is rising. We've been tracking that. But I want you to notice something. This 50 line in the middle, right? Bitcoin so far, and we have to see what happens in really the week ahead, so far has kind of bounced just above that area. The reason why that intrigues me is because when Bitcoin was making a very similar move back here, out of overbought, meaning we're falling in the momentum, similar to what's happening now, while price was rising, right? Similar to what's happening now. So bearish divergence, same thing back here. Bitcoin, as it was falling, fell below the 20-day moving average, right? Right around where Bitcoin is on the RSI right now. Now, Bitcoin has basically fallen to this area on the RSI, but has not fallen below the 20-day moving average, similar to what happened last time. So Bitcoin, if it were to kind of repeat this struggle of momentum, this struggle of price, Bitcoin kind of would have fallen below the 20-day at this point, considering where the momentum oscillator is, but it's not. This could change in really 24, 48 hours, next couple of days, because the area on these charts are so similar in terms of time frame. Maybe it just needs another day or two before it falls below the 20-day. But I'm telling you, it's getting exciting on the 6 hour because, and this is what I've been tracking, and if you saw my recent video, I think I mentioned it, if Bitcoin manages to make the move to the upper trend line here, which is confluent with really this yellow trend line here, and break above it, meaning break out of this channel, this is something that we have not seen really in previous cycles. And I think that's really the move that everybody's waiting for. Bitcoin, crypto markets to do something that it hasn't done. It has truly been so consistent. It has truly been, I don't want to use the prediction word, but in terms of anticipating the next move for crypto, when we look at this chart, it's been just so on point. The consistencies of these cycles, time and time again. I mean, this entire cycle from breaking the bull market doors into the bull market, falling into the bear market, even with all the crazy stuff, FTX, Celsius, everything going on here, Bitcoin still just doing the almost exact commonplace move that it's done in previous cycles. Now, if Bitcoin does manage to make a move to the upside and it starts on the 6 hour, things are going to get really exciting. And this momentum oscillator on the daily chart, I think it could shake some things up. The bullish hints, this bull market hint that I'm talking about is if Bitcoin manages to actually not fall below the 50, right? And because that's what it actually did back here in the move. It did fall below the 50. And if it actually bounces up, and if Bitcoin does break out right now, and I'm not saying it will, if it does though, this is the last bull market back here on the chart on the daily. In that bull market area, you can see Bitcoin kind of touching around this area and just consolidating up, consolidating up, consolidating up. That's the move, right? And if Bitcoin starts doing that now, pre the halving, right? If we go back to the chart, pre this Bitcoin halving in 2024 in the spring, which is really coming quick. If it starts doing it now, I think it's just because there's too much bullishness in terms of what's going on in crypto, and a lot of it has to do with Bitcoin ETF, institutional demand coming into play, or at least a lot of people realizing that it's about to happen. And it's tough for the bears right now. So that's something I'm tracking right now. I will say this. We haven't broken out. Bitcoin has not broken out, right? So that trend line and this move, this could actually just completely turn into the bearish divergence that it looks like. And Bitcoin, maybe it just took a few more days extra. Bitcoin could fall and break below the 20. And that's the move to the downside I'm watching. It's around 36,500, falls below that area. And then we have the move to the downside out of this channel, right? To the downside, probably touching close to the $33,000 region. And you can kind of see what that might look like on this chart. And we have the 50-day moving average here, the 200 pulling into it, 30s right down here. It's just a $30,000 mental area. But the move to the downside is 100% in play. That's something to anticipate for sure, and I still am. But what I am saying is, if Bitcoin gets the breakout out of this area, this will be like something that we really don't see often, right? And it's really just pre-halving this move, right? Higher highs and higher lows, fine. But look at the consolidations along the way, right? These big consolidations. And we have this move to the upside. If we don't get a big consolidation right now, that'll be something else. And that's what I'm tracking on Bitcoin right now. But let's pivot over to Ada. Ada has something else going on. Ada right now, if we look at this, I want to point out, this is weekly chart. Look where the weekly momentum oscillator is. And there's still 2 days, 21 hours left as I do this video, left on the Cardano momentum oscillator. Weekly candles and momentum oscillator. We're not in overbought. I want to just go over to something like AVAX, right? AVAX touched overbought in this extremely powerful move that it had. And there were probably some others. We can go look at real quick. Solana. Check out Solana. Got extremely overbought. Just crazy. Outperforming a lot of altcoins in that move. Ada, oftentimes, it does take a second to catch up. And so what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's going to repeat Solana or AVAX, and we're about to hit that overbought with just a nice green candle. But what I am saying is that is 100% in play right now. And Cardano, it wouldn't be the first time. It just takes a little bit longer for Ada to make a move like that. Real quick, and we're going to continue talking about the bullishness to the upside, I do want to just interject some caution. And I talked about this in the previous video. This consolidation here on the RSI, consolidation on price chart, and if we're looking at the weekly, you can see right above the 50-week, right above the 20-week, Ada is just hanging out here in outer space. The move is so similar to the move we had back here in February 2020. And even the consolidation in the RSI before falling, right? So hanging out in outer space, wants to break out, and you can see it wants to break out of that trend line back there. It didn't happen, and then it fell. That's the caution. And we can anticipate that might happen. But right now, we can't ignore what is happening, and that is this. Ada breaking this trend line, target to the upside, 70, 75 cents. And this, we just talked about Bitcoin doing something that would just be kind of out of the ordinary, not something that happens every cycle. This, pre-halving, a move like this move is already happening early this cycle around. Last cycle, it happened more around here. But if Ada actually breaks out from here, this is just a little sign, I think, of what is in store for the bull market. It's not the bull market starting for Ada. Nothing like that, in my view. It's a little sign of what's potentially in play. Go to the daily chart, and then we're going to pivot and look at the 6-hour chart. Go to the daily chart, and here's where I think it's also good just to use a little caution. It's really nice to see Ada, especially on the weekly. The weekly looks really nice on that trend line breakout. Go to the daily, you start getting a deeper sense of the story. And if you look at this, we kind of have some wicks up here in this area where Ada is right now. As I do this video, 39.5 cents to 40 cents. And as I do this video, Ada is there. It's a big resistance area. So I could upload this video and Ada might just get rejected right away, start trending back down again, even breaking the 20-day. But what I will say is, this is where things are getting exciting for me watching these Ada charts, very similar to the Bitcoin charts. Because on this daily chart, and who knows what tomorrow will bring, right? Tomorrow's Friday. We have 20 hours left of this daily. How is the daily candle going to close? Are we going to close above these wicks? Are we going to close above 40 cents? What if Ada does that while we're sleeping? I don't know. But this is tonight as I'm doing this video, this is what I'm watching. It's why I wanted to do the video. And that story playing out is really right here. If we look at this ascending triangle, and I posted this on X a little bit earlier, you can see this upper trend line resistance I just discussed right in that 39.5 cent to 40 cent area. That's the resistance area. And it does seem to me, from just doing these videos for years, it seems a little early in terms of where the apex actually is of the ascending triangle. A breakout seems to make more sense kind of over here. And this is the 27th of November, just to give you an idea. Right now we're the 23rd, so it's 4 days left. An early breakout would be phenomenal. I want to see it. Short-term target out of this channel is around 45 cents. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if this once again acts as resistance. Ada kind of comes back down into the apex, and then we're testing the 37 cent area, right? And we go back to the daily chart. Why is that important? Check it out. The 20-day moving average, which we're trying to see Ada stay above, that's right there at the 37 cent area. So Ada could just, boom, come back down. And then look at all this. That trend line's there. The 20-day moving average is there. If that falls, Ada might be in for a fall. And so you can just see it's kind of make or break on these charts. On the daily chart, if we open up the momentum oscillator, Ada is doing what kind of Bitcoin has been doing, right? Higher highs on price, and the momentum's fading. And that's the concern. We had this happen all the way back here, January, February, and we had the momentum to the downside, higher price, and then it really just fell, right? It broke the moving averages, the 20, the 200, the 50 back there. These moving averages could be tested if this momentum fails. But if we get a break of momentum and we see Ada make a move to the upside, it would be phenomenal. And we can even use a 6-hour momentum oscillator to kind of get a sense of maybe what that would look like. You can just see there's a lot of room to the upside in terms of being in the overbought territory. Ada could make a move, a strong move into overbought in the 6-hour. That could equal basically a strong breakout in price. And that could eventually turn into the more important kind of trend reversal of this momentum oscillator on the daily. Instead of just continuing to put in lower highs, momentum keeps falling. If price can actually start making moves to the upside, there could be a lot of room to the upside. And the true room to the upside, I just want to point out once again, as I started the Ada charts, the true room that allows for a breakout of such a magnitude, it is on the weekly. Remember, not overbought. And we saw what AVAX did. We saw what Solana did. It's possible. But really, the story is playing out right here on these shorter term charts, and I'm tracking it. This is where it becomes fun. And it's becoming even more fun because at the end of the day, we are getting closer to Bitcoin halving. I think we are getting closer to that bull market. And when we have weekly candles doing what it's doing, we're not even overbought. We have targets to upside like that. Sure, we know downside. I've been talking a lot about downside. If the resistance holds true the next couple of days, even as we go into a new week, we know where the targets are to the downside, right? That 50 week at 32, 33, the 20 week down here around 29, 30. It's in play. It's normal. It doesn't concern me at all. No matter what consolidation we have between now and the Bitcoin halving, it's all good to me. I'm ready for it. But if we get a breakout to the upside, everybody, that's going to be an early indicator of something extremely bullish happening within Ada, within Bitcoin, and just generally within the crypto space. So we're going to continue tracking all of these charts, the cycles of crypto, what's going on in terms of the story leading into the next bull market. So if you're not a subscriber, please make sure to subscribe. Turn the notifications on too, so you get these videos when they come out. News, all that good stuff. I genuinely appreciate you hanging out with me. Grateful for each and every one of you. Hope you had a good day. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.